Not a ton of things going on in the sports world right now. Just have a couple of stories for you guys. And then we'll continue to break it down through the week as more stories develop. But this one's interesting. Kevin Durant did an interview with Yahoo Sports a few days ago, condemning the media, calling them liars, condemning fans out there who just label Kevin Durant as a journeyman, a guy that doesn't stick around with teams, which is absolutely true and fair. And Kevin Durant, I've heard this before. This is not the first time anyone has made this comp, but it does make sense. Kevin Durant is a lot like Aaron Rodgers, a lot like Aaron Rodgers of the basketball world. He speaks, we listen, and the one thing I've always given Kevin Durant more love for than other people in the media have is he's authentic, he's real, he's personable, and he is going to tell you exactly what he thinks. Now, just with all things that I love, not everything is 100% positive. Kevin Durant can be honest. Sometimes he shouldn't be. And no one in the Phoenix sports landscape, real media members who have been taking care or watching the Suns all year long, no one thinks that Kevin Durant is actually getting traded. No one thinks that. Matt Ishbia has made it very clear. Kevin Durant's not going anywhere. Everyone has made it abundantly clear, from the Phoenix Suns to Matt Ishbia, Kevin Durant is not going anywhere. But for Kevin Durant to go on Yahoo Sports, and I love it, he's honest, it gives us great content to react to, but to act appalled or shocked that when media people make up stories or when media people use his name for clicks, that people believe them. If Steph Curry were to put out, or a report came out about Steph Curry, that he was indeed looking for a trade, he wanted out of Golden State, everyone would say, yeah, I'm not believing this until it comes from Steph Curry's mouth, because that's out of character for Stephen Curry. We would never expect that from Stephen Curry, and we would never expect him to want to leave Golden State. Kevin Durant is the complete opposite. Kevin Durant has left everywhere he's gone. He is a journeyman. Now, he's an elite level superstar, top 20 player in the NBA journeyman, but a journeyman nonetheless. That's what Kevin Durant is. So when I see Kevin Durant going at the media for calling them liars, for making up stories, fabricating stories, it's mid-July. That's what the media does. Kevin Durant doesn't get to be a worldwide renowned basketball superstar without the celebrity part. People are going to use his name. No one's using Harrison Barnes' name when he comes out and says he wants to be traded. No one. No one is using CJ McCollum's idea of wanting to be traded away. CJ McCollum demanding a trade isn't moving the needle. No one cares. Kevin Durant has demanded a trade before. Kevin Durant has left multiple places in which the situation was pretty ideal, most notably in Golden State. So Kevin Durant can be upset with the media that they're using his name for clicks, which isn't fair, but it happens. You have to accept that that stuff just happens. It's not cool. No one likes when people lie, but it happens. LeBron James was in all sorts of vet minimum trades, or could he go to the 76ers? And it was all BS at the end of the day. And we didn't hear anything from LeBron. We heard from LeBron's agent briefly, just shutting down the ridiculous nonsense for LeBron James potentially taking a vet minimum. Why is it Kevin Durant is the only superstar in the NBA that gets upset when the media doesn't personally call him to let him know he's going to be used in a report in which, outside of Stephen A. Smith, I don't know of anyone who came out and said Kevin Durant wants to be traded. We've saw multiple media outlets come out and say other teams think they might want to get Kevin Durant, But we also heard that with Devin Booker. Adrian Wojnarowski came out and said that. He said the Houston Rockets are going to try to get Devin Booker, and Matt Ishbia promptly turned that down. Kevin Durant has to stop acting shocked when people believe reports that are either made up or absolutely true about him wanting to leave whatever team he's on. Kevin Durant has put that persona on himself. Not Shams Charania, not Adrian Wojnarowski, not Chris Haynes. Kevin Durant did it. Chris Haynes, Adrian Wojnarowski, Shams Charania didn't tell Kevin Durant to leave Oklahoma City. They didn't tell Kevin Durant to leave Golden State. They didn't tell Kevin Durant to leave Brooklyn and form another team in Phoenix after Brooklyn blew up, mostly because of him. That's what happens. They didn't tell him to do that. He did it. No one believes a report that would come out right now saying Steph Curry wants to be traded. They would all say, we need to hear that from Steph Curry. But Kevin Durant has set a persona up for himself that he's a career wanderer. He is a journeyman, although elite, just the journeyman in a sense that he doesn't stay in the same place for very long. He has set that persona up for himself. No one else. And it drives me crazy when Kevin Durant acts like he didn't leave Oklahoma City when he blew a 3-1 lead. Or he didn't leave Golden State after winning 2 championships, which was a comfortable situation. He didn't leave Brooklyn worse than how he found it. And now Phoenix isn't working. So I don't blame people who see reports that are either fabricated or true that Kevin Durant could want to be moved from whatever team he's on. No one believes that if it's Steph Curry coming out and saying he could want to trade. No one believes a report that says Steph Curry wants to be traded. They have to hear it from Steph Curry because that doesn't look, sound, or smell like something Steph Curry would do. But it does sound like something Kevin Durant would do. I see a possible trade rumor for Kevin Durant. I go, yeah, there's a potential that might be true. And it might be leaked from Kevin Durant's camp. It's awesome that Kevin Durant wants to stay in Phoenix. Cool. I think part of that is he knows that he can't do it again because people will really come for his neck in terms of a basketball sense. But here's the biggest issue. Instead of just letting Matt Ishbia handle it, instead of just letting the Suns refute every report and letting Stephen A. Smith look like an idiot who was the only guy who actually reported Kevin Durant wanted to be gone, no other major outlets reported that. It's frustrating when Kevin Durant is focusing on that and not focusing in interviews or being asked in interviews, hey, why was the season such a failure? Hey, what are you guys going to do to get better? Hey, you don't have a lot of moves you can make this offseason. Can the big three actually work? Can they coexist? I would love Kevin Durant's candid answer of that. Not Kevin Durant's candid answers of him being upset because the media is quote-unquote liars, which everyone knows that. We have an election season coming up. No one trusts the media, not even me, and I'm part of it. But instead of hearing from Kevin Durant what went wrong this season, we're hearing Kevin Durant get emotional, which that's what it is, get emotional, because people used his name for clickbait. Just call it what it is. So it gets frustrating when Kevin Durant doesn't see the big picture here. And it gets frustrating that when Kevin Durant goes full Devontae Adams and wants people to say, well, don't worry about what the team does, worry about what I do. There's a lot of players in the NBA that put up good stats on a bad team. It's not impressive. There's a reason why people will always look up Michael Jordan as the GOAT. He's the greatest winner, 6 for 6 in finals, and he made the NBA global because just how mesmerizing he was with his talents. No one cares about how good your stats are on a team that isn't working. No one. Not me, not the fans, not casual NBA fans. And Kevin Durant not working in another team in which he kind of put together, or at least helped orchestrate behind the scenes to put together, whether it was talking with Devin Booker, whether it was recruiting Bradley Beal. It gets frustrating that Kevin Durant wants all the praise, but none of the criticism that comes with being an NBA superstar, that comes with being a top 15 player of all time. There's actual things I would like to hear from Kevin Durant. And him being emotional because the media is lying on his name is not one of them. I would like to know how they're going to fix the Phoenix Suns, who are hamstrung and handicapped with what they can do this offseason. How is he going to change? How is he going to hold people accountable? How is he going to be a leader? But Kevin Durant has no interest in that. Or at least it seems like he has no interest in that. He just wants to hoop. He just wants to get good stats. And if the team wins a championship, awesome. If not, he wants you to know his individual greatness was awesome. He wants you to know all about it. And that's the biggest problem with Kevin Durant. He cares more about his individual greatness than the team's success of winning a championship. And that is always a recipe and a thought process for disaster for a team like the Phoenix Suns.